The article that this video was adapted from originally appeared on The Athletic. Head over to www.theathletic.com/RabonaTV to get started with a 30-day free trial and 50% off your annual subscription. Despite just beating Chelsea 4-0, José Mourinho fired a warning to his former club while appearing in his new recurring role. A pundit on Sky Sports, Mourinho said, quote, "Chelsea were not compact defensively, too much space to play, not enough aggression on the ball, the defensive line, the midfield, the attack, they were not compact. I think United will find it much more difficult to play against teams with low compact blocks. If the blocks are low blocks, it will be really difficult for them without a pure striker." Of course, Ed Woodward made sure things were even more difficult for Ole Gunnar Solskjaer by selling their one pure striker, Romelu Lukaku, to Inter Milan. And of course, he didn't bring in a replacement, meaning Ole and United have had to go forward with an attack consisting of a mix of Rashford and Martial, neither one a pure number 9, while throwing in any of Daniel James, Jesse Lingard, Mason Greenwood, Juan Mata, etc. No, none of them a number 9. Following the impressive 4-0 win over a Chelsea team that is still trying to find its feet in this world after yet another change in manager, the loss of their talisman, and an inability to improve their defense thanks to their transfer ban, following that big win, United has struggled, going winless in their last 3 matches. First, there was the 1-1 draw away to Wolves, then the 2-1 loss at home to Crystal Palace, and finally, a 1-1 draw away to Southampton. In all 3 cases, United faced their worst nightmare of late, the dreaded low block that Mourinho had forecasted would be their undoing. In every single case, they crashed against the low block like a wave on a rock face. But what exactly is this tactic that's employed by so many teams when they play against, at least in theory, teams that are superior to them or like to play football more, for lack of a better term? Speaking to The Athletic, a former Premier League manager said, quote, "It basically means you sit deep, create 2 compact lines of defense, do not press high, and ask whether a team can break you down. Every time they've experienced this tactic, they have failed, a tactic which Wolves have used to perfection under Nuno Espírito Santo at times, using the quality they have going forward and the pace of their attackers to hurt teams on the counter. Though, it must be noted, Wolves got a point from that match thanks to a Ruben Neves wonder strike. But United's inability to score more than 1 goal against a defensively compact and organized back line has bled through to their other matches. Against Crystal Palace, the same story. 2 lines of compact defense, no room for the attackers to breathe, no space to really run into, but only because United don't change their tactics to adapt to this defensive style. Granted, as Adam Crafton writes, for the manager, there is little he can do when his team misses consecutive penalties. His world-class goalkeeper fumbles a ball into his goal, and Victor Lindelof is inexplicably beaten to 2 crucial headers inside 7 days. Yet the bigger picture is becoming concerning. Solskjaer is without a win away from home since taking the job on a full-time basis. United have 1 clean sheet in 19 games. United have won only 3 times in 16 games. United have scored more than once in a game only 3 times in that sequence, and won by more than a 1-goal margin on only 1 occasion since March 6th. United may be undergoing a transition, but it is, to be blunt, not far off relegation form. And that's where Solskjaer insists there's nothing to worry about, and that United have a plan. A long-term plan that involves the players that they have there because they believe in them. But how long does he have to work on this particular project? United hasn't been afraid of letting managers go since Sir Alex Ferguson left. Moyes, Van Gaal, Mourinho, in the latter 2 cases, experienced, proven managers that have been successful at various clubs across various leagues in Europe. So the need for Solskjaer to quickly develop a plan B in order to counter the low block cannot be stressed enough. As Crafton continues, the problems are exactly as Mourinho described. Solskjaer's high-pressing counter-attacking system is encountering trouble when a team does not provide the space to play. On Saturday, United's sole source of inspiration came from the increasingly outstanding Daniel James. He scored with a scorching effort to add to last weekend's more deft curling strike, and he was a constant source of direct running and powerful shooting. Yet, as the confidence seeped from the players such as Juan Mata, Andreas Pereira, and Marcus Rashford, United became even more dependent on James. This optographic shows that 45.5% of United's direction of travel came down James's left side. And try as he might and cross as he could, there was nobody there to meet them. Attacking teams who see much of the ball, such as Liverpool and Manchester City, come up against the low block all the time and have found ways around it. In City's case, their fullbacks join the attack, overlap, cut inside, and find midfielders like Kevin De Bruyne with passes between the fullbacks and centre-backs. United, well, they don't really have the players to do this, as Mata's game-changing moments are appearing less and less frequently as he himself appears less and less frequently, and Lingard, Well, he hasn't scored or assisted in the Premier League in 8 months now. Crafton muses that perhaps the number 10 position would be the perfect place to put Pogba, but once again, he has been forced into a deeper role alongside Scott McTominay, and this deep role for Pogba drew the ire of United fans whenever Mourinho played him there. When Pogba is on his game from this position, he can be incredible. Again, look to United's performance against Chelsea, in which his balls over the top from deep were devastating. But against Southampton, in under a minute, in just 40 seconds to be precise, he gave up possession 3 times, showing that he can in fact be a liability in the midfield. Though fans are frustrated with him, Matic would allow Pogba to be the creator that they need further upfield. If not Matic, then the return of Fred to the lineup could provide a similar effect. Ultimately, however, it's the striker position that is killing United, as Crafton says. Solskjaer is frustrated by the lack of scruffy goals from Rashford and Martial, though the complete lack of goals in general is something to be worried about. Rashford has only scored in one of United's last 12 matches, and speaking of scruffy goals, since August of 2016, Martial has scored 3 goals from inside the 6-yard box, while Rashford has scored 6. Comparatively, Sergio Aguero has scored 14. And so this is the situation Solskjaer finds himself in. A commitment to his plan A, a plan which sees crosses fly through the box with no striker to convert them, a plan that sees very little creativity from their number 10 position as their most creative midfielder is played as a number 8 or a 6, and a game plan which so far has been incapable of breaking down the low block, just as Mourinho warned it would happen. And you can read more about Manchester United on The Athletic. Stories like how Bale has won versus Real Madrid or why Sanchez failed at United. The Athletic is working with some of the best journalists in football, such as Raphael Honigstein, David Ornstein, Michael Cox, James Pearce, Danny Taylor, and many more, bringing you in-depth local coverage of your favorite football teams and competitions. Competitions like the Bundesliga, Premier League, MLS, Champions League, and more, all at your fingertips via their app or online, giving you the option to follow the feeds of your favorite writers, clubs, or competitions. So support Rabona TV by heading to www.theathletic.com/RabonaTV, and in turn you'll get 30 days for free, 50% off your annual fee, and access to some incredible sports journalism. Thanks for watching, subscribe for more videos from Rabona TV, and take care.